Everybody, Chris Allen here, live this time on the SAM channel, sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. On this Tuesday morning, it is January 3rd. It is 3:51 in the morning. Now, we have some issues going on with some severe weather that I want to get to this morning, which is important for you to know. Overnight, there were some warnings, and now there's a watch that is in effect, tornado watch, something that we were hoping would stay south of us, but these storms have held together and have really started to make a fuss. And so we had a few tornado warnings overnight. Some of you may have heard the outdoor warning sirens, the cows that went off a little while ago. That was because of a tornado warning, but there have been no confirmed tornadoes. These have all been what we call radar indicated. In other words, we can look at the radar, look at the velocities of these storms, and you can see the rotation. It's mostly been of a precautionary heads up type situation, although there have been a few reports of some minor tree damage and things like that. We have not heard of any actual tornado damage, but we're going to take a look at a couple of things going on the radar this morning. This is aside from what I normally do with, of course, the morning update. So I'm, taking a look at this and just inspecting some of these storms that are nearby, and I want to do that to get you updated. As you can see, Bowling Green, we're pretty clear for the moment, but we've got this other line that's back west of us that's giving us the issues. So let's take a look, especially this one in the Muhlenberg County area this morning. That is a tornado warning along with a flash flood warning. This is the other part of this system that's putting down the heavy rain, which is something we did anticipate, and a tornado watch. But let's go to the warning and see what that's about. The tornado warning is in effect until 4 for central Muhlenberg County, so it's in effect for another few minutes. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Greenville, 7 miles south of Central City, moving northeast at 50. So, of course, Central City getting the brunt of that right now. So let's take a look at this. I want to stop motion, and I want to go to the reflectivity, not just the reflectivity, but also the velocity of this. And there is clearly defined what appears to be rotation, whether that is on the ground or not. I mean, it's a bit broad in nature, but it's right over Greenville and headed right for the Drakesboro area. So that is a problem. That is a problem if this is an actual tornado. It is headed right for Drakesboro and Cleeton, also toward the Paradise plant. Here's Highway 62, Central City. It looks like the core of that rotation is going to miss you in Central City, but then there's also some damaging wind associated with that potential tornado. Again, these are all radar indicated. This is moving northeast at about 50. Everything's moving in a pretty quick fashion here. Browder, Bremen, looks like you're in the throes of this. Maybe even Beechmont as you head down 431 south of Drakesboro. And again, this is all central Muhlenberg County, but I would even watch as you get this new tornado watch or warning. There's a new one that's just been added. Let's check that out. Check that out for you. Get rid of that So all of this is live this morning. So this is that's the one until 4 o'clock. Let's check this other one. There's a new one that just came out. This may be the old one that's expired. Okay, that's what it is. But on top of that, you've got a flash flood warning. This flash flood warning takes into account Hopkins, Southeastern Hopkins Christian, Muhlenberg, Northern Todd, Southern Caldwell, Eastern Trigg until 7. Between 2 and 3 inches of rain, additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 2. So that's going to cause some street flooding and some mighty big issues there as you're traveling in those areas. So we got to be careful about what's going on there. But again, if you're anywhere right there along 431 in Muhlenberg County, we have some listeners that far away that can get our distant signal or maybe listen to Sam 100.7 online. That's going to be the issue with this. And then everybody's under this tornado watch, which was issued right about 3 o'clock this morning. It takes in parts of Arkansas, southwestern and central Kentucky, northern Louisiana, western and northern Mississippi, western and middle Tennessee, and all the way down into Texas. It's a pretty big area. So it's until 11 o'clock this morning, this tornado watch. So a lot of us are in that same boat. As take a cup of coffee this morning. Let me. I'm going to swing around here and check with the National Weather Service chat rooms, and I want to get the latest here. Hopefully, you can still hear me as you're looking at that possible tornadic cell going through Muhlenberg County, the Greenville area. So all of this is still radar indicated. It's not, we haven't had any reports of anything on the ground, and I'm looking at the Paducah chat room. Let's go back and, okay. So nothing new from their chat room on that particular cell, but it's where you can see there's also a lot of lightning associated with that. All right, let me make sure I've got the lightning turned on here so you can see that. Yeah, it's on. Okay. Good deal. Yeah, there you see some of the lightning strikes associated with that. Now, this radar indicated tornado is, again, right now over the towns of Cleeton, also Nonell, I hope that's right, Nonnell, Drakesboro. These are the smaller towns that are within that circulation. South of Central City, this is the circulation. So we've got everything rotating around. And when we get these what we call couplets that show inbound and outbound winds rotating or close together like this, that's usually an indication that, well, 100% there's rotation. Whether that rotation is reaching the ground or not is the big question. But I can tell you that this is moving into, it would be parts of Butler County eventually. Here's Rockport, just to give you some idea where we're looking here. You've got Wysox, you've got Cool Springs, you've got highways 269, of course 62 It looks to be just a little south of 62 and a little bit south of Central City. Drakesboro getting the fringe of this rotation. It's not a very tight rotation. It's kind of broad. So that may be just something that's in that rotation is in the air, but it's not necessarily reaching the ground. But that's a big question mark whether that is only, ground truth will tell us what's going on there. Get rid of that. Zoom out a little bit more. That is the biggest area of rotation that we're seeing right now on the radar. And you see the lightning strikes are clustered with that too. Again, this is Muhlenberg County. And this new tornado warning extends beyond. It's going now 4:30. So that was why you saw the two boxes there together. One was for the original tornado warning at ending at 4. This one's going to take us until 4:30. So again, the wording here is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located over Greenville or near Central City, actually south of Central City, moving northeast at 35. It has slowed a little bit from what it was earlier. It looks like the wording also here, it's going to remain over mainly rural areas of Muhlenberg County. But that does take in Drakesboro and includes the Western Kentucky Parkway between mile markers 51 and 65. For those of you that know those areas, taking in all of that. It's pretty impressive on the radar. It really is. The thing is, we just don't have any confirmation that is on the ground. And right now, it's the really cell that's giving us that kind of marker. I'm just reading, okay, it's 40 miles per hour that it's moving. It's really the only marker that's on the radar right now that's giving us some indication that we've got an issue. But it's one to watch because it is on its way. I'll zoom back out here. It's on its way into Ohio and parts of Butler County. And as you can see, this is the broader rotation. The tightest rotation is right there, moving right over the Paradise community where the Paradise plant was, and moving northeast at about 35 miles per hour. So Beaver Dam, it looks like it may go south of you, but it's certainly going to be crossing near or just south right here where 165 or the Natcher crosses the Western Kentucky Parkway. There's a big exit there. You've got the Hucks there that's in the middle island, the Hucks truck stop, kind of gas station service area. You know what I'm talking about. If you're going west on the Western Kentucky Parkway, it's going to cross in that area here in just a few minutes. So, because it's moving at about 40. So it did slow down a little, but now it's picking up some forward motion. And that could be a problem. So that rotation is really, it's a classic rotation. Rotation is happening there in Muhlenberg County for sure. And the thing is that we don't have any confirmation that it's doing any damage on the ground, but here's a tell, and this just came in. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that's just been issued directly in the path ahead of that rotation for southeastern Ohio County until 4:30. This is the same cell that they're warning on, but this time they're not doing a tornado warning. They're doing a severe thunderstorm warning until 4:30. But this could be upgraded if it continues to show a lot of rotation. Nonetheless, you're going to have a severe thunderstorm that's going to take in parts of southeastern Ohio County, Horse Branch, Olathe, Prentice, Horton, Windy Hill, 19, Scotttown, Sandifer Crossing, Cromwell, and Arnold, all in the path of that severe thunderstorm warning. Now 7 miles east of Central City, moving northeast at 55. So what they're looking at here is the rotation now moving out of the Muhlenberg County area and moving in to Ohio County. And therefore, that's the yellow box that you're seeing here. Go back to, reflectivity. Still a pretty good core on this thing. So there is likely the worst of it at the moment is going to be right here around Rockport. And following 62 now. So there you just saw the update. This is a fresh image where that deep purple is right there. It's more fragmented now than it was when it was back in Muhlenberg County. So I see why they went with a severe thunderstorm warning instead of a tornado warning. The signatures here are a little less pronounced, but it's right over is that Kenway? It's been a while. So I know 19 and I know 62 as you go up toward McHenry and then into Beaver Dam. And this is the Parkway. So it looks like Beaver Dam may get it. If this is taking more of a north to northeast ride, then Beaver Dam, you would be more in line to get this. McHenry, certainly. Damaging wind potential, lots of lightning, maybe some hail with this as it continues to push off to the northeast. It's moving fairly fast. Simmons, you're also in line with this. Okay, I'm going to take a look at the reflectivity a little more. I'm sorry, not reflectivity, velocity. There we go. So yeah, there we go. It has weakened. Notice how it was. This thing was really a big signature here as it was crossing into or out of central Muhlenberg County, but now it's starting to. The couplet here is starting to weaken a lot. So that's a pretty good indication that this thing is mostly elevated and not necessarily reaching the ground, although some of you still could get some damage out of this because it is a circulation that's still there, or at least elevated rotation. Let's see. Heavy rain. Michael Butler chiming in on the comments. Appreciate it. Central City, they heard the tornado warning sirens a few minutes ago. Michael, yes, it's safe to get out of the basement now. Also, Cindy lives less than 15 minutes from Butler County. We live in northeast of Warren County. So yeah, Some of you are chiming in, and you can do that on the on our Sam channel coverage, which is not only on um, Facebook, but primarily the Sam channel is YouTube. Just go to Sam Channel BG, search for Sam Channel BG. You can subscribe; it's free, and you can watch this information live. So overnight, there was the issue with some warnings that came out, and again, these were warnings that were primarily, I don't want to, you know, subdue the um, subdue anything or lessen the severity of anything, but these were mostly radar indicated tornadoes, enough that when a tornado warning is issued, of course, procedure is for the outdoor warning sirens, the cows, to go off here in Bowling Green and Warren County, but nothing really came from that, or at least I've not heard of any damage. And some other counties got tornado warnings. These all happened very suddenly. These were like this one. Now you saw that it, for the moment, it went away, and now it's strengthened again. So what we're seeing this morning is like a genesis to regenesis and a refiring of some of these cells. So it's like they get a spin, then they kind of fade away, then they come back a few minutes later. They may decide to go with a tornado warning on this right now a severe thunderstorm warning. And there you see the latest scan. It's really, this could be an anomaly, but it's a very broad. If this were in an area much smaller, then they probably would go with a tornado warning. But this is a very kind of a broad rotation. So all storms have a spin. All storms rotate. So in this case, they're watching a lot of inbound winds and a lot of and some wraparound backside winds that are trying to rotate with. They are rotating, but evidently, just from checking with some of the chat rooms here, we're not hearing of anything on the ground with these. So these are all radar indicated tornado warnings. Even down in the Nashville area, they're getting let's see. They are getting some strong winds. They're commenting about some of these cells as they move across. They're getting damaging downburst winds in some cases, and that is certainly possible. That is actually more likely to happen than tornadoes. But the tornado watch and the tornado warnings have all been pretty much precautionary at this point, just to give everybody heads up should something reach the ground. And so far, we've been pretty lucky. Nothing has reached the ground. Okay, here's a new scan. This again is on that possible tornadic cell that is just south of Beaver Dam. Right now, it's still just a severe thunderstorm warning and not a tornado warning. This right here indicates to me there's a lot of artifacts, if you will. There's nothing that's a real component, but I mean, there's still this very broad area of outbound, inbound winds. And there's just this very broad rotation that's there. And up next, in line with that, is right there where it should be coming right over the Hucks. In fact, there's the new scan. Here's the service island on the Western Kentucky Parkway. Here's 165 Natcher going north. So Sandifer Crossing to Rob Roy. It's coming right over you now, and it's going to be headed toward Mount Pleasant. And then once you get up, I would say even Rosine as you head up 62, obviously, and you get into Horse Branch and the Renfro, some of those areas, it's going all in that direction. So, good news, if there is good news with that particular cell that once was or once had a tornado warning, it's a very broad rotation now, which means there's rotation, but it's not necessarily reaching the ground. The Weather Service hasn't issued a tornado warning for this, so it's severe thunderstorm warning. And the good news is that is hopefully that just stays that way. We'll take a look at one more scan here as it comes in. There's still a lot of lightning associated with that, but even the lightning strikes have weakened just a bit. A stop motion, you can see that's right over the intersection now of 165 and the Western Kentucky Parkway. Let's see. Severe thunderstorm warning until 4:30 continues for Ohio County. That's what we're looking at right there. Oh, there's a new scan that just popped in. Yeah, this thing is still very broad. That's good. What we look for is consistency. Remember this thing as it was back here down near Central City. Look how far it's come just within the last few minutes. That's a pretty good track. 20, 30 miles. Back here, it was a tighter rotation. Now it's more broad, which is a very good indication that we've got something that is weakening. It is indicating rotation. You got to remember from the radar site that we're looking at, and this is the Nashville radar site, the beam has got to go up. You've got the curvature of the earth, and then the beam it can't see exactly what's on the ground. It sees what's just above it. So we're catching some of that rotation that is aloft, if you will, or just above the actual rotation, and it's catching all of that. It cannot see exactly what's on the ground. So therein lies the issue with sometimes we need the ground truth on this, but it would help. Let me switch. I'm going to switch to a different radar site to go to Louisville. Turn on the radar points. No, that's not what I want. We'll go to the Louisville radar site. Let it load up here. There we go. Now we've got a different vantage point to see what's going on. So here, and still far away, there's not a close enough radar to get a good fix on this, but you can see there's broad rotation, very little in the way of red. There's a lot of green. So let me go to, I don't think the Hopkinsville radar has been down. Yeah, it's still down. That red dot indicates it's still down. We may be way too far away for Paducah to pick up on it, but we'll check. I thought I just heard some thunder here. Uh, some of that thunder and lightning overnight was crazy, but there was nothing there to indicate, tornado warnings, or it was just a lot of lightning and thunder and heavy rain. So this is from the Paducah radar. And here again, Sanderford Crossing, Mount Pleasant, Rob Roy. Okay, I'm hearing a new warning coming down. Flash flood warning for Breckenridge, Grayson, Hardin, Meade, and Ohio until 7:30. So now we're seeing more in the way of flooding and less tornado threat. But as I was saying, this is 165. Here's the Western Kentucky Parkway. There's still this very broad rotation here. And there it is. There's the new flash flood warning that takes in this entire area, because now it's turning into more of a flood event than a severe thunderstorm or tornado threat, although that threat is still kind of there. Flash flood warning, southern Breckenridge, northwestern Grayson, northwestern Hardin, southeastern Meade, and all of Ohio County until 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. Heavy rain across the area, flash flooding is occurring. Small streams and rivers, creeks. You're going to have some standing water on the roadways. That's a problem. If you're driving in this morning, Hartford, Hardinsburg, Radcliffe, Vine Grove, Beaver Dam, Muldraugh, West Point, Fordsville, Centertown, and McHenry, all under that flash flood warning, along with this severe thunderstorm warning, which is in effect for another 7 minutes. But the best news of all is that this rotation is very skewed now, very scattered, and not as crazy as it was once looking. Go back to the Nashville radar. Yeah, still there as we originally saw it. But now it's just a very broad area, which means this thing it still has rotation with it, but at the moment, it's, I can't say not capable of producing a tornado, but it is in a state of where it has kind of lost a bit of its energy. Rain is starting to take over as the dominant feature and not the rotation or not the dynamic of producing a tornado. So, but don't let your guard down. Those of you like right now in Rosine and along 62 East, from Beaver Dam all the way from Rosine over to Horse Branch, White Run, Jugville, Olayton. You need to be just on guard here for this to come through, with some even Pine Knob as you get into more Grayson County. You need to be aware that there's an issue there. Caneyville, I think you're okay. This is going to miss you. Caneyville is right here. So, and then the Western Kentucky Parkway, there's 62 as it comes back down past Dewstop and on through Caneyville and Millwood. This is as you're going from Ohio County into Grayson County. Pine Knob, though, you're part of that flash flood warning, and you're right in line with that that dominant cell that we've been watching Here's Litchfield. Uh, that's not anything that's uh, too crazy looking here. Let's go back to the regular radar reflectivity. This thing still packs a punch. You can see some of the purples there north of Rosine. That's just some very heavy rainfall. There could be some hail. We call that a little radar contamination. It doesn't mean anything except, when anything gets contaminated, it kind of blurs the actual visual feedback that we get through the radar, and sometimes that's in the form of ice, and therefore that would mean we're seeing some hail with that. So I'm hearing another warning. Let's see. Christian County severe thunderstorm warning until 5 a.m. Severe thunderstorm warning for Ohio County, but taking in Breckenridge and Grayson now until 5 a.m. So there's two new warnings that are going out. So we've got Christian County severe thunderstorm warning, and that you see down here with the new box in the Hopkinsville area. Severe thunderstorm warning until 5 for Christian County. More severe thunderstorms 8 miles southwest of Crofton to 7 miles north of Big Rock. Moving east at 40, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. There could be some hail in there. Crofton, Hopkinsville, Fort Campbell, Oak Grove, and Pembroke, which would include Interstate 24 between mile markers 71 and 91 and the Pennyrile Parkway between the beginning of the Pennyrile and mile marker 25. So that goes all the way up here to Crofton, not quite to Nortonville, but up in that area. Then we have the new severe thunderstorm warning, which is this one, which takes in northwestern Grayson, so that would include the Caneyville area, south central Breckenridge, and east central Ohio County until 5, located 12 miles east of Hartford, moving northeast at 55, 60 mile per hour wind gust, and up to quarter-size hail. So that was that. I was just talking about that core that looked purple. Remember that? Let me show you that again. Right there. From Olathe down to Horse Branch, this is the most likely area that we're going to see hail. And let me get this product right here. Yeah, so this is more of an indication that we could be looking at some hail here moving right over Olathe, north of Horse Branch. You may be seeing a little bit of hail there. There's also some lightning strikes, but this is showing us potential hail product that's coming down. Now, this is also showing a hail product, but it's usually this product stays several scans behind, so you can get a path of any kind of hail. So you can see that the hail core is headed right for Olathe. It's actually there now. So this particular scan hasn't shown up in sync with what's going on right now, but Olathe should be getting some hail right now, and some of it is going to be maybe nickel size up to quarter size. So that's a pretty good hail core. And it's part of that same cell that we've been watching with this very broad rotation. There's also, I'm looking back south of that, we may be watching kind of a genesis or a regeneration. That's what I'm trying to say. Here near Sandifer Crossing, there's a little tiny area of some rotation just east of Beaver Dam, right along 165. And again, if 62 crosses 165, that would be north of the Western Kentucky Parkway interchange. So we'll have to watch that. Let's see how it's been looking the last several scans. Yeah, it's a little suspect. We'll keep an eye on it. It's going to cross over to 62 near Horton. In fact, it's there now. That's a new scan. And maybe Rosine, although it could go north of that. Doesn't mean it's anything necessarily. We'll just see how it performs over the next few scans. All right. Let me broaden everything out here. So other folks covered. Go to. Since there are no tornado warnings, thank goodness for right now. Down the pike, we do see a severe warning. This would be Stewart County, Tennessee, and then the one I told you about was issued for Christian County. We've got some thunderstorms south of Pembroke into Elkton, moving into parts of Logan County. None of that is severe, but some heavy rain. Lightning, really, with over Dover, Tennessee, that's Stewart County. And then you see everything on the back edge of this is just mostly flash flood warnings that are going on because of the incredibly heavy rain that is happening. And that heavy rain is an issue, or has been an issue for a lot of people this morning. Ron is saying, what will the conditions be to travel to Nashville later this? Well, I can tell you that we're going to get more thunderstorms. It's going to be one of those situations where we get this morning, which we were talking about yesterday in my morning update, and then we get a break, and then we'll have to see what fires up this afternoon. But most of this is going to be out of here by early tomorrow morning. We still have another wave of activity coming in this afternoon, this evening, and some of those could be rough, depending on how much sunshine we get for today. Ellen, old Chris Allen looks rough. Yeah, well, I haven't had time to get Purdy this morning, and I certainly don't look the way I would normally look when I was in television, because I had to get all dressed up and makeup and all. This is the real me. My nose itches. I haven't finished my first cup of coffee, and now it's cold. And I'm this is from home. Okay, this is my home studio where I do the weather every day. And please subscribe to the Sam channel. It's easy to do. You just go to YouTube and you search for Sam Channel BG, Sam Channel BG, and you can just hit the subscribe button. It's not going to cost you anything. All this is free. More of a public service from Sam 100.7 or the Sam channel. Um, it's just something that I do now that I'm not on television. I have the capability of having a camera and all that. And I know I should have, but I needed to get this stuff on because I know many of you were like, why are there sirens going off and what's happening? I'm hearing a lot of noise. What's taking place? So I just wanted to bring everybody up to date on that. But now everything is settled down for a bit. I'm going to get ready, get all nice for radio. You're fine, Ellen. I'm just picking at you. People that know me know I pick on the people I like. The gloss and glamour of television is no more. This is down and dirty, nitty gritty, nuts and bolts, weather coverage. It's not polished like I would only be given a few minutes on television to do this. Well, except for in severe weather. Then it was like, okay, take as long as you need. But even with my daily presentation, which I still intend to do, even though it's 4:37, I got to get busy. So I'm going to end the live coverage since things have calmed down. There's only severe thunderstorm warnings and not tornado warnings, but I'll keep an eye on things. And then I'm going to get ready to go into Sam 100.7, where I will continue coverage and reactivate the Sam channel if needed. Looks like we may need it later today, possibly. So in the meantime, God bless you. Thank you for watching the live coverage here, sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. And I'll see you on the radio.